Welcome to Recombu. I'm Basil. This is a Samsung Galaxy Note 8. This is a Samsung Galaxy Note 2, and we're comparing both of these phone devices for you. Well, the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 is a phone. Our version isn't. Our version is Wi-Fi only. Despite its ridiculous size, there is a version available that you can put to your ear and have a full-blown conversation on. Less ridiculous, but still large, the Samsung Galaxy Note 2 has a 5.5-inch screen and is only available in a phone variant. So let's kick off with the designs, and they're both pretty similar thickness. The Samsung Galaxy Note 2 is actually slightly thicker, which is weird considering it's a smaller. The Samsung Galaxy Note 8 is a very skinny device, and the large surface area really makes it feel very waif-like. Both are plasticky and they both feel very curvaceous and forgiving. They don't feel like they're digging into your hands by any means. On the faces themselves, you've got the same kinds of buttons and ports, etc. You've got two capacitive buttons either side of a home button. Up at the top you've got sensors and a camera, both front-facing, 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera on the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, and do believe it's a 2 megapixel front-facer on the Note 2, though I may be wrong, please don't quote me on that one. On the left side you've got volume rocker on the Samsung Galaxy Note 2, down below you've got a micro USB port and of course the S Pen, and to the right side is a power button. Up at the top 3.5mm headphone jack, and on the reverse 8 megapixel rear facing camera along with a flash loudspeaker, and you can remove the back cover to reveal battery, SIM card slot and expandable microSD expandability memory. That's the one. Right, we can drop that down and take a look at all the ports on the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. You've got a microSD card slot under a flap on the left hand side. Down below, micro USB port, two bottom facing speakers. On the let's flip it that way. Right hand side you've got an infrared blaster, so this thing can double up as a remote control, which is pretty cool. You've also got a power button and a volume rocker. You've got that S Pen as well here, and up top it's a 3.5mm jack with a 5 megapixel rear facing camera. No flash, unfortunately. As far as the actual screens go, these are very comparable. Both the HD 720p. The Samsung Galaxy Note 8 is slightly larger. It's WXGA, so it's going to have a slightly different aspect ratio, but it's going to have a worse pixel density. The Samsung Galaxy Note 2 with its 5.5-inch display and 720p display is going to look that bit better. You've also got an AMOLED or HD Super AMOLED Plus display on the Note 2. It's non-pentile. It's one of our favorite displays out there. The perks of an LCD display in contrast are that you will get purer whites, but colors won't be quite as vibrant and saturated. Still, we're not going to complain. If we got this and we just had it as our first tablet, we certainly wouldn't say that it was an unsharp display per se. It's just not the best out there. We would have really hoped for an HD panel. So that's the hardware of the devices on the outside. As far as the inside goes, you've got TouchWiz on both. If we pull out one stylus, we can actually control them all. One stylus to control them all, as you can see. Now the stylus is a Wacom powered, well, there's a Wacom digitizer underneath both of the screens on these devices. You've got 1024 levels of pressure sensitivity, which is the same as you find in a graphics tablet. So that in itself is very cool. You've got some similar notes across, such as S Note, for example, and there's integration with Photoshop and other applications you can download through the Play Store to give you that really nice advanced functionality. S Note is the key application that's going to enable you to take some really cool drawings, notes, etc. on the Note 8 and indeed the Note 2. If we, for example, open up an idea note, we can very easily see you press harder, you get a thicker line, press thinner, you get a thinner line. If we undo that, there you go, we can just give you a quick sketch, for example, to show how intuitive it actually is to sketch on one of these things. Of course I'm drawing an eye, as if you couldn't tell. So it's really nice to sketch, and the additional surface area of the Note 8 really does make it that bit better than the Note 2. However, the Note 2 in terms of core other functionality is going to be pretty much up there. If we, for example, open up S Note, you can see you've got exactly the same key functionality there. And again, we can very easily, we've got a different pen set up on it, draw away. You've got the pressure sensitivity. This is much quicker, so it's never going to look anywhere near as detailed, but very easy. And it's the same thing, you've just got less space to do it in. So as far as the other UI elements go, there's really not much in it at all. Pull down notifications bar and we can see very easily. You've got some quick toggles up at the top. You've got a few more on the Note 8. You've got a brightness indicator and you've got some key specs. The color theme is really just to compensate for the fact you've got an LCD here, and AMOLEDs handle blacks a lot better. So you've got a black color theme on the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. Awesome Note is the only other real key differentiator in terms of the applications. It's a pretty neat app, don't get us wrong. It's basically Samsung handing you organization by numbers. You've got My Idea, My Diary, Travel Journal, Shopping, To-Do List, Anniversary, My Calendar, Work Study, etc. You can create notes really easily. So if we just add a note to Travel Journal, for example, we can include some writing. So we can write hello from... and wait for that, and then write London, boom, done. And we can make our notes a little bit richer. We can either add a photo taken from the camera or from our gallery, or indeed a drawing. And seeing as we've got the Note 8, we might as well take a drawing, and let's just draw, for example, a top hat. There you go. So you've got a neat top hat there, and you want to include that because it reminds you of London for whatever reason the show's playing, that's why. And boom, that's done. So you can access that note very easily, and you can add more information to that, etc. at will. So as far as apps goes, therefore, you can really expect the difference to be quite constrained. If you think you're going to make a lot of use of Awesome Note and the additional size of the screen, and you've got a Note 2, then you can probably justify getting a Note 8. However, if you have a Note 2, you're waiting for a Note 3, for example, then the differences aren't going to be enough to make your jump worthwhile from one to the other, unless you really need, like we said, that additional screen size. If you're talking internals, you've got 16 gigabytes of memory with expandability via micro SD card slot, 1.6 gigahertz Exynos processor. Both these devices are going to be awesome for gaming. So lots and lots of power under the hood there. There's not really much else to cover except for the fact that if you really want a giant phone, you like to have the biggest of everything, then the Note 8 is probably going to be the one for you. Whereas if you want a smaller and more affordable device now, given the fact prices will have come down on contract, then the Note 2 will be the one to go for. Thanks for watching Recomboot. I've been Basil. This has been a Note 2 versus a Note 8 comparison. If you've got any questions, please fire them in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed this video, you just click like, and if you like our channel, click subscribe.